Hey everybody, how you doing? I am going to tie up a everyday, all day chum fly, and it's quick tie, it's easy tie, a couple different materials, a couple different colors, and this is a fly that I would use a lot if the water was low and clear, and you were trying not to snag up a bunch. So it's gonna be a pretty lightweight fly, and it's gonna be good for swinging. It's gonna be good for single hand stripping flies, swing stripping flies, whatever you want to do. We got a couple weeks till the season really starts kicking off, and we get some more rain hopefully, and we'll be out there having a good time. So let's get started. First thing, Beavis 6/0 pink thread. You can use white as well. There's not a lot of thread that you're going to see in this fly, so it's not too big of an importance here. So I'm just going to start making a nice little thread base. Right. There we go. We'll wrap forward here and put these eyes in. I like to put them really, really close to the end here. Just because it's a tube, and if you don't put it really close to the end, it just doesn't look right. So we'll do that. And then glue it in. Got a lot of solar res laying around right now, so just gonna use that. All right. So we're gonna start at the back of the fly, work our way forward. So you'll notice I'm coming up over where the tube gets to be a larger diameter, and typically that's where you're going to see your hook into. I like to tie across the whole thing, just is the way I enjoy doing it. Let's go about right there. Especially if I'm using like bunny or something that is on a hide, it's a lot easier to lash it in that way. So first thing we're going to do is grab our bunny. And I've already got a piece cut off here, and this is a fluorescent pink. So you can see here, overall length of the fly, it's pretty long. You can always cut it back if you need to, but I do like this fly pretty long. So you can see it's going to sit right in there. But this is all clear. That's fine, you can keep it clear, but I really like tying in some Solar Synthetics braid. And just give some color, contrast this fly and some nice shine to it. Makes it look a little more professional. All right. Let's see here. Right there. That'll give me enough room. try to make sure you leave yourself a little in the front, so when you're lashing that down, you're not working with just like a little tiny nub, which can be really frustrating. Leave a little extra. So a lot of times when I tie in bunny strips, I'll do like a twisted hitch off the back with some type of braid or spider wire or something like that, and that way the hook's all at the end. And what I'm going for here is, if I was using a jigged hook like you would use for, you know, float fishing with a worm for steelhead, that kind of hook works really well with like a single hand rod in a deep pool with slow moving water, so it really undulates the fly. So what I'm going for here is, you know, a hook that's inside of the tail, because it's a tube fly variant of, you know, a very down and dirty fly I would use at work if I was out in Alaska. But since I'm at home and not in a tent with standing water in it all season, I can make nice flies, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to fold this back, put a couple extra wraps in here to really kind of hold it back. Then we're going to take pink dubbing, and this is a Senyo dub, so it's you know, it's a synthetic, which is great. A little tip with the dubbing: when you're putting it on, you can see the strands are going perpendicular to the thread. And when you do that, it allows them to wrap around. And if I want it to be thicker, I'll just add more. But if you try to go in line with everything, it just doesn't work out very well. And we're just building up a body here. See, like that looks like garbage right there. It's not good. Right. So I want to leave some space here because we're going to add some more materials and we're going to palmer some marabou. So leave yourself a nice gap. It doesn't have to be super tight in there. Right. So you kind of have two options here. You can go with the marabou and then fold this over the top, and the marabou is going to come out just the bottom. Or you can end this piece of bunny strip early and have a full head. I'm going to go with a full head on this one. So I'm going to tie this in. And I'm going to come right back up to the junction of where my bunny meets my dubbing. The reason I want to do that is because we're going to add some silly legs. So this is a pink and clear speckled silly leg. I don't remember the brand name on these, but essentially all I'm going to do is tie them in. Doesn't take much, just 2 turns, and then peel them back and go over what you just tied in. So now I've got 4. And of course, you know, we want to taper those. So I like to do that like at the end when I can see what the fly is going to completely come out like. It just is a good visual reference for me to do it that way. Some people do them right away. It tends to be a bummer for me if I don't get those to look symmetrical. So I'll do them at the end. Alright, next order of business is marabou. I don't tie with a ton of marabou, mostly because it's not super durable. But the point of this fly is to get out fishing and to, you know, really fill your box with flies. So in order to do that, I need to have flies that I can tie rather quickly. And working with marabou is just really quick. And I'm not going to tie this super tight. I'm just going to be pretty loose because I want to fill this void here. Alright, so there you go. Now there's a couple different options for the front. You could go like a Guinea hackle that's going to really give you like a nice bearing, so that way the water kind of pushes up against that Guinea and it's a stiff fiber, so that way these can kind of undulate with a bigger profile. Or you could just go dubbing in the front and kind of wrap around. So I'm going to go with Guinea because I want to. And like most of my flies, like a little white in there. So let's go ahead and pick out a Guinea. I'm going to do this kind of on camera for you guys because it's really easy to pick out one of these massive Guinea collars and just overdo it. It's really easy to overdo it. So I'm going to try to find one in here that's kind of on the smaller side. This one looks nice. So you can see that one in comparison to, like, let's say one of these, right? You can see the difference in size there. It's about 2/3 of the size of this bigger one. And I'm probably only going to use like 1.5 turns of this because it goes a long way with the Guinea. So I'll do all of these on this side. I'm going to take out these last ones on one side of it. Alright. Palm of these back. This thing is just going to wail for me. Getting pretty excited for some chrome fish. Trout season's been a blast as always, but it's about that time of the year where I'm just really ready to switch gears, get out the two-handed rods, or I should say the big two-handed rods. We still like to do some trout on the little two-handers. Those is just a really good way to keep your casting in shape and can be really fun with the right streamers. Which, if you guys want, I will do a video on some of the streamers that I like for both Euro nymphing and swinging with a two-handed rod. So yeah, just a little bit, not too much, not going crazy there. All right. Then cerise to match the cerise. I'm a big believer in cerise for chum salmon. I like the natural stuff, of course, especially if it hasn't rained in a few days and those fish have been in the system a little longer. But if I'm getting fish with sea lice, I'm throwing cerise. Like if I can see that there are fish that still have sea lice. Cerise. Gonna taper cut these. Alright. Gonna glue it up. We'll glue the bottom. I like to take it off of the vise when I go to look at my legs. Right. So I got a little bit of natural taper in there from the way that I laid them in. And I like that. It looks pretty good. So I'm just gonna trim those up a smidge. Alright, and there you have it. That is a quick, easy way to make use of a nice little tube fly that does really well on coastal chum salmon. So thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it, and hope I see you out there this fall. Get some nice chrome fish, and hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.